Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of BC Buckets. I'm Matthew Brune, and joining me once again is Colin Mitchell. And Colin, today we have your pick of
Mhm.
player. You can pick anybody in the country, anybody on the boards. And who do you got?
I got Maxwell Lewis from Pepperdine.
Pepperdine.
Pepperdine. Wing. 20 will be 21, I guess, soon. He's 20.9 years old. 6'6", 7-foot wingspan. I think he could be something special in the NBA.
I'll never forget watching him. I think it was one of the preseason tournaments. I think they played in Hawaii. And I was like, yeah, this guy's a professional basketball player, if I've ever seen one.
Yeah.
Out of
If
Pepperdine.
I've
I
ever
mean, I'm
seen
not
one.
saying if I'm not
It's the same thing. It's just because I thought the same thing. I was like, out of Pepperdine, huh?
out of
Listen,
Pepperdine, they went 9-20 last year.
yeah, the thing that made it interesting to me, and I made this, I guess I made a similar type of comp when we did a GG Jackson video, is I think that Maxwell Lewis, in terms of the question marks I have of him as a player, is very similar to that of Jalen Williams from Santa Clara last year. Like, he was playing against subpar competition compared to everyone else, but he showed a lot. And I think Maxwell Lewis is doing the same type of thing. He shows a lot. I mean, 3-point shooting is crazy. 44.1% from catch and shoot. His self-creation's great. He's not afraid of contact, but he can still move his body. He has that body control. 33, almost 34% free throw rate. But then you get to the issues, which are, defensively and turnovers. But I think that there's too much there, and I guess similar to G.G. Jackson, too much there offensively and athletically for him not to do good in the NBA.
Yeah. I like that you mentioned the 3-point shooting. I think that's the clear place to start. When you get to the NBA, obviously you have to be able to shoot. I think he's going to be a very, very solid shooter for a long time. To get into my comps real quick, because I have one comp. I know we're a little early on
No,
this.
that's fine. No, let's unleash it.
I can't wait to tell you this, to see your face. Rudy Gay.
Rudy Gay.
Do you like it?
I haven't heard that name in so long.
Do
Let me
you
think
like
about this for a second.
Do you
Rudy
like it?
Gay. Rudy Gay.
Long
How tall was Rudy Gay?
shooter, 6'8".
Okay.
And I've seen Maxwell Lewis. I mean, I have him down at 6'6", but some people say 6'7". So,
Okay.
regardless, long
So,
arms.
yeah.
But I think the way they kind of play. So, do you see all those like little step throughs and the strides to get to the
Yeah.
basket, and how he like
Yeah.
extends his arm to where
That's
like
true.
to extend past? I think that's very Rudy Gay-esque. The catch and shoot ability. I think if he can shoot the ball at a 37% clip, like in the NBA, I think that's Rudy Gay-esque. Like a good complement player to where he's not asked to do too much, but he's a very, very capable scorer. Now, Lewis will have to get stronger, but I think he draws fouls well. I think he's a good passer, not great. He can turn the ball over, but I don't think he'll be asked to pass a ton in the NBA. If he's on the court in the NBA, he's looking to score the ball.
Right.
And that's what Rudy Gay did. Like, I think that's the bottom line. That's what he will be asked to do. And that's why I believe in him way too much. Like, his team was awful, so I really don't care about the turnover percentage. I don't care about.
Yeah.
I mean, he still shot 53% from the field and 35% from three, even though his team wasn't good.
They think the biggest thing for me is I love half court percentages. He shot 57.3% in half court,
Really,
which is crazy.
wow.
Yeah.
It's
So,
like so, and then that's why I also kind of discount the defensive concerns, because even though we talked about it with G.G. Jackson a little bit, I might have more concerns for G.G. Jackson defensively than Lewis, because Lewis, it feels like it's all an effort thing,
right.
because
I can agree with that. Yeah.
he can defend. Like, he has the quickness, I think, to mostly the quickness. He has the wingspan, and I think he showed flashes of it. It's just like he just didn't defend because that Pepperdine team didn't defend.
I think the difference, though, between those two players is that one can kind of hide defensive issues if he plays the 4 instead of the 3. Whereas I feel like you can't have Maxwell Lewis playing the 4. He has to guard wings and play the wing, which makes it to where defense is more of an issue with him, I feel like. But I think that, like you said, I think the athleticism's there. He's able to move. A lot of it was ball watching, like, and technical things, like doing crazy things on closeouts that just looked awful, or missed rotations or things like that. I do think he needs to tighten his handle, because I think he can get a little bit out of control. But I feel like his playmaking upside, I guess I haven't watched Rudy Gay in a long time. I don't really remember. You could tell me more there, but because he was a Spur. But I think
Yeah.
there's flashes there where he can be like a third ball handler.
Yeah, I mean, like, what are we asking of Maxwell Lewis at this point? Because nobody has him in the lottery, right?
Nobody.
So nobody has him in the lottery. But really people don't really have him in the top 20 anymore. Even though I think early in the year when I was watching him, it was like this guy could be a lottery pick.
I
Everyone was
think,
like,
yeah,
all
I
right,
think he was. I think early big boards had him late lottery
yeah,
or
it's like
just out of
okay,
it.
he can be lottery pick. Now he's dropped. He probably won't be a top 20 pick.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm just saying if you draft a guy at 20 and below, I can't think of a guy that's more polished offensively
Yeah,
at this point because a lot of those outside the 20 picks are either projects or maybe they are polished but they're either undersized or have some major flaw. I don't see a major flaw right now with Lewis. He is 21 years old, which you know how I feel about age,
anybody
but
over 18, but yeah,
anybody over 18. So it's hard for me to project a super high ceiling for him, but I think at the very least like Rudy Gay was obviously a great scorer in a long time career here. Who are some comps that you have?
I don't like my comps anymore now that I heard the Rudy Gay one, but I have Devin Vassell that can't defend and
Mhm.
Trey Murphy.
See, yeah, those are both defenders. That's the problem.
Yeah, and that's the issue. Is I couldn't think of a player that
I got some.
currently in the NBA.
I think they're still in the NBA. All right.
Oh, okay, that's not good.
No, 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 they are. They are. They are. They are.
Okay,
I'm just
okay,
kidding. I'm just kidding. All right. How about I have three other
okay,
ones. Otto Porter.
okay. I
You
have
can
to
see
think
it a
about
little
that
bit.
one.
You see it a little bit. Okay. Then I have this one's kind of. I don't like the last two as much, but Brandon Ingram.
Brandon Ingram. Okay,
I think that's a reasonable esque ceiling. I think that's a reasonable ceiling. Wouldn't you
I would
say?
say that's a really good ceiling for
Okay.
a guy that's not picked third or whatever Brandon
Yeah,
Ingram was
obviously
taken.
Brandon Ingram was different, a little different coming out of college, but I think that's a ceiling if we're talking absolute ceiling of a all-star for Brandon Ingram, and top two player on a playoff team. Andrew Wiggins was the other one I had written down
I like Wiggins
because
more.
he didn't defend early in his career and eventually became a good defender, which I think is capable for Lewis. And Wiggins operated in a lot of similar ways. Right now, Wiggins is a 3-and-D type of guy. Lewis could be that. Earlier in Wiggins' career, he was a scorer. I think Lewis
Yeah.
can be that. So
The Wiggins comp is really interesting. I would say, I guess early Wiggins liked to use more of the post a lot more than I
mhm.
think Maxwell Lewis will. But I actually really like that comp in terms of where he could be in his career because I guess they're similar type of builds. Uh, you just gotta hope he can defend. I think it's the same type of thing. I think his ceiling is a high level wing ish player, Rudy Gay esque. He's gonna get you 20 points, but he's not gonna make an all star team. Maybe he'll make one. Um, Floor wise, I think he's just gonna be catch and shoot guy corner.
Floor for Maxwell Lewis.
Because I think if he doesn't put it together, he's not going to have the ball in his hands enough to
Here's the
really
thing.
show his self creation. Oh
It's
gosh,
hard because I think he has to have an impact relatively quickly in his career.
yeah,
Like he feels like a guy that's I don't know how much better he can get.
right.
That might be my only question. It's like it's hard to evaluate his ceiling after watching this past year at Pepperdine because
But
I think he's really good, but how like he can already shoot the ball at a high clip. Like, does he just get better at everything?
it's the same thing as Jalen Williams goes to OKC.
That's
He's
true.
basically point guard for Santa Clara, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, he can actually do this at the NBA level. If he can
That's
do what
true.
he can do, I mean, if he can do 75% what he can do now at the NBA level, that's a really good player.
That's true. And I believe in him because I love the efficiency. I think he can pass the ball. I think he's a smart player. Um, it was just hard to evaluate on a Pepperdine team where he was the best player by far, and they were awful as a team. Like those situations bother me a little bit,
Yeah.
but I always buy guys that can shoot, and I think he's going to be able to shoot the ball at a high rate.
Yep.
So,
I agree.
all right. Anything else? Any other
That's it.
notes? I'm trying to make sure. He doesn't have the burst off the dribble that you would like. I think that kind of speaks to maybe him perhaps needing to play a little bigger, like a Rudy Gay, like a
Yeah.
Otto Porter type guy.
I hope it's
Um,
Rudy Gay, not Otto Porter, but yeah.
okay, there you go. So yeah, he might need to get a little quicker or tighten his handle up a little bit, but that would really make him an interesting offensive prospect. So
I really like that Rudy Gay comp. Great
good,
comp.
good. I'm on fire with the comps lately. You notice that?
Honestly, well, it's because you go out of the box.
I go
Whereas
down
I
to
whereas I think of players now, where it's like,
yeah. I sometimes what I'll do is I go down from 2023 to 2020 to 2018 to 2014. I think those are the stops I usually make and see if I can find a comp in those ranges and go from there.
interesting.
So
Interesting.
there's a little tidbit for y'all at home, a little peek behind the curtains,
Peak
right there. How I do it,
of how he operates.
how I'm the best comp man in the country right
Comp
now.
man in the country.
All right, that's what we got for y'all today. Hope y'all enjoyed the episode. Let us know what you think of Maxwell Lewis, where you think he should go in the draft, if you want your team to draft him, all that good stuff. We'll be back with another episode soon. Until then, we'll talk to y'all later.